to the RaigingStarr podcast, the show where two Virgos, 15 years of friendship, and an unhealthy love of adventure collide.
I'm Randy Rage.
And I'm Star. And today we're trading 4 wheels for 2 and heading straight into the roaring heart of the Sturgis motorcycle rally.
We're talking chrome, leather, and more engines revving at once than our eardrums were ready for. From epic rides through the Black Hills to the wild scenes on Main Street. We'll share the sights, the sounds, and the unforgettable characters we met along the way.
So grab your Sturgis cup and hold on tight. We're getting ready to feel the wind in our hair because this episode is going to ride hard and fast.
This is the RaigingStarr podcast.
All right, babe. So,
Okay, yes.
how was Sturgis?
Sturgis was amazing. Okay, I have been working in the motorcycle industry for about 2 decades now, and Sturgis has always been on my bucket list. You know, it's a 10-day rally plus travel days. I was never able to commit to the full time of the whole rally, and this year I was given the opportunity to go out for a few days and help my team really expand our presence and our branding. And man, I was just so excited to finally check this one off the bucket list. There was so much to see, so much to do. And yeah, it's a breed of its own. I've done so many different, rallies, convention center events, bike nights, charities. Like, I've done so many different things over, the last 2 decades. And this one just really is a special one, a whole breed of its own. And man, I lost my voice 3 days in. Like, it was
all the things.
It really
right?
was a wild ride, yeah.
And it was their 85th? You said?
Yes.
Okay.
So it was a big milestone for Sturgis because it was the 85th annual, and they had huge headliners out there. We saw Gene Simmons, we saw Tech Nine, but there was so many other artists out there. Coldplay was out there. Yeah. Insane Clown Posse was out there. I mean, the list of musical talent that they had booked at all the different venues, from the Buffalo Chip to Full Throttle Saloon, was just insane. Like, I don't know if anybody's able to do all of those, but if they did all of those concerts, they are a saint.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So I heard with Sturgis you get nicknames.
Yeah.
Did you get one?
Yeah, and I wasn't aware of this. So I did inherit a nickname.
Okay.
I was called the Sturgy Virgie since it was, my first time, my first rodeo out there. So I look forward to passing that title to somebody else next year.
Right.
It was a joke and everything, but it was also really cool when the team and everybody else found out it was my first time. And yes, they gave me the nickname as a joke, but they really showed me the ropes and made sure I saw certain parts of Sturgis that are really special and important. So it was incredible. Yeah.
Yeah, because you've been in the biker world now for 20 years?
Yeah, more. So I
over?
started working, doing, stunt shows and doing different sponsorship, work and different branding, umbrella girl work. I've been with the company I'm with now for 14 years.
Okay.
And I've just had a really long career path with this. And I just never made it to Sturgis until this year. And I'm just so stoked to check that one finally off the bucket list. And I'm hoping next year I can coordinate and arrange to do all 10 days. Because I did experience a lot, but there was so much I didn't have time for that. Yeah, the Sturgy Virgie wants to come back and do it again the right way.
Right? Yeah, I definitely want to hear those stories too, because, as you know, we've never gone. And I've been in the biker world not as long as you, but what, about...
Long time, though. Yeah,
about 14 years now.
Yeah.
And so I think it would be really cool. I loved all the videos, which we'll have to upload for you guys, that she took when she was there. It looked like a blast. And just talk to what else did you get to do?
So something that really stood out to me out there in Sturgis, minus the hype of the rally itself, was the weather.
Okay.
I mean, it's hot, humid all day, and then you'll just see this cloud coverage rolling in, and everybody just knows it's going to be hail, it's going to be thunder, lightning, and my team and I we danced in the rain. We danced
Nice.
under the lightning. Like, we were just such tourists who had never seen those types of storms before. You know, I know Florida gets something similar, but these, you know, Sturgis just has a special, it's a small town, you know, and there's just so much beauty to it outside of all the crazy rally life.
Do they still ride bikes during the storms
They
like
do,
that?
yeah.
Even with the lightning and everything?
There's no
You know,
helmet
'cause
law
in Southern
there.
California, they're not doing
Yeah,
that.
no,
When it's raining,
no,
everybody's off
like-
the streets. We're like, no, we don't want to do that.
Yes, like these riders, you know, they're very hardcore. They're
Okay.
very, you know, no
They're
excuses.
all about that life.
Like it was just really kind of cool to see that, and there's no helmet law out there, which, you know,
You
for me,
get all the bugs in
yeah,
your face.
for me, I'm like, that's my head. I'm always gonna wear my helmet.
Right.
But one of my favorite parts about being out there was seeing like all the riders with their blown back beards, you know, split down the middle. There's just beard flapping around back
Like
here.
you see in the movies.
And their faces, like everybody was just smiling, or they were serious and they were just feeling some type of way, you know, like we're out here, we're riding, and they're just diehard. And I have so much respect to see how passionate like Sturgis is.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you met some interesting characters when you were there.
Yes. Well, and I saw some very interesting characters too. And, you know, I heard stories. One writer, you know, he came up and signed up for our program, and he was telling me that he hadn't been to Sturgis since the 50th anniversary. This was the 85th, so
35 years
35
ago.
years, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and he was just telling me, you know, Sturgis back then was like Woodstock, where there was a lot of friskiness all over the place, nudity out in the grass, you know, and this year, and it kind of built up to these rules that Sturgis had to kind of put down because it was getting real Wild West, you know, and so there wasn't a bunch of nudity anymore because there's heavy fines for that now.
Okay.
But you are allowed to, you know, as long as your nipples are covered. There was a lot of body paint, there was a lot of tassels, there was a lot of barely covering bandanas, things like that, and so there's still definite, like,
Pushing the limits.
you know, to keep Sturgis traditional, but also, you know, where it's not like a bunch of nudity, just out and about, you know.
Gotcha. But not
Times-
necessarily
yeah.
because you're going to
Yeah.
take a family.
Yeah, and you know, times are different nowadays. Everybody has phones. Everybody has Ring cameras. Like, imagine if that was the type of content
Yeah.
people were recording, you know, and Sturgis isn't only just about that. It is everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, just imagine the privacy. Like, when you are just being free in that moment, there could be a million people recording you doing that type of thing. So
Makes sense.
I have a lot of respect for, you know, Sturgis, you know, the city people and the mayor, who I got to meet as well,
That's awesome.
for just kind of enforcing things where you can still let loose and still be free, but also protecting privacy to everybody.
Yeah, making it a safe environment.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
the biker world to have a
Yeah.
little bit of fun.
Yes.
Very cool.
Yes,
That's awesome.
I didn't see a lot of kids, so I wouldn't really call it like family friendly, but it was very clean cut for the most part during the day.
Okay.
Then at night, you know, into the bars and the restaurants and things like that, you do see
Get some more
a little bit more. Yeah, like, you know, there's a lot of dancers, like, think Coyote Ugly.
Okay.
You know, a
Love
lot of
that movie.
dancers like that. There's poles and major talent, you know, but nobody's stripping things off. Nobody's, you know,
Gotcha.
kind of going to that level.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Do we know why Sturgis was started?
You know, and I did hear a little bit of this.
Okay.
So Sturgis was started, I can't remember the names of everybody. I could look it up though. Maybe we should Google some of this.
We'll let you guys know.
Yeah, to be continued on that one, because I don't want to miss.
Yeah. I was just curious if,
Yeah.
like, if you
There-
happen to
there
know.
is a
If any
specific-
of you know why,
Yes.
let us know.
Yes.
Like, give those in the comments, please.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think you should come with us next year.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, you
Sign
down?
me up. Yeah.
Just had to wiggle that back on.
But do you have to ride a Harley?
No, I mean, there was all kinds of shit out
Okay.
there. Yeah. I mean, the Harley Cruiser type of bike did kind of take, you know, the higher end of the ratios.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, you would see adventure bike groups come in from the hills down into the, you know, main street. There was sport bikes. There was, you know, the crazy builds. Some of the craziest, like, from kind of rusty builds where people just slap things together and, you know, ride the hearts out of those to, like, really expensive, you know, parts. And there's just a little bit of everything.
So it's really a festival for all bikers.
Yeah, and that's a really good name for it. Yeah, it is more like a festival.
Yeah.
With all the music and all the, you know, street performers.
It seemed like it was just like a whole like event.
Yes.
Like,
yeah. Very different from what I've seen at any other rally or event.
Okay. Yeah. I would love to check it out, and I love hearing like all of your stories and stuff like that. So how many days were you there for?
So I left on the 31st. That was a travel day. And then I worked August 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. Okay. So the first 5 days.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and that's, you know, when everybody's excited to be there, everybody's hyped up, you know. But then I was hearing from my team, too, that, like, as the days went, typically, like, there's a burnout period, and that didn't seem to happen this year. And I'm wondering if it's because it was the 85th, such a special year.
Yeah.
Or, you know, if it was just the energy was just on point this year. Like, nobody had any complaints about, like, people getting grumpy or, you know, like, it just seemed to stay very steady.
Things
high energy. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Well, that makes it easier.
So, yeah, because it is a 10-day rally, and I think Daytona is another 10-day rally. So they're pretty hefty, and, you know, when you're there for every single day, it can weigh on you sometimes, depending on the crowds and the energies and things like that. But yeah, I didn't hear any complaints on people, you know, getting irritated or, you know.
And
so
does everybody stay like pretty mellow, or is there like fights that break out? Is there like rivalries that happen?
There is some of that. But I didn't see any personally.
Okay.
I've heard stories.
They keep it.
Yeah.
If it happens, it's being handled, and it's not like you're in danger.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, but back in the day, I did hear there was more of that.
Okay.
You know, I didn't see much of that this year. I did see like one fight, but this was after hours in the dark. Everybody was already, you know, hammered, drunk. We were getting in line to go see Tech 9.
Gotcha.
And there was a bit of a brawl out there, but like during the day, everybody's pretty good, you know?
Yeah.
But then, you know, when that nighttime hits, people choose to drink their calories instead of eat their calories. You know, it can get to you.
Gotta make sure to eat.
Yeah, gotta make sure to eat and drink your water, you know?
For sure. We've all been there.
Yes, we have.
Well, that's really cool. What was, like, your overall takeaway?
My overall takeaway has to be, like, the blown back beards.
Yeah,
like,
that's just, like, an image that's sticking with you?
Yeah, it really, and it's because I'm such an advocate for gear when you're riding. I've been down several times. I know what injuries feel like, and especially your head. Like, a lot worse things could have happened to me had I not had on, you know, a full-face helmet. And, you know, so I've never really thought about riding that way, and then going into a state where that's not a law and you see it everywhere. I found myself at first feeling like, why aren't they, you know, but then you just see these beards blown back and the smiles on their faces, and you know, me and my coworker called it the blown back beards. Like, we were like, we'll make these guys a club. Like, they're so cool. Like, you know?
Yeah. I can imagine, like, some just old school, like, dude with his beard all down here.
Yeah,
just like,
blown
completely
back. And then they get off the bike and it stays all messed up, you know, and they got to comb it out and fix it up. It's like we do with our hair, our helmet hair.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
because that's a mess.
So I just thought that was, like, a very cool culture thing that I've never experienced.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because definitely in California, we're wearing helmets. And you have to have all of that stuff. Yeah, I mean, that last accident that you were in, had you not had your helmet on, that probably would have been pretty bad.
You know, I always think
kind
that
of
way.
A little weird, yeah. The state I grew up in, also no helmet law.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, not even just the protection, but like the things that are flying into your face.
Yes. Yeah.
Like,
and there were
I
so many
don't
bugs
want
out
bugs like up in my mouth because
Yeah.
my helmet isn't on.
But
or just...
then you would see, like, on their handlebars, they would have, like, their water bottle sitting there. They're sipping, you know, they're smoking cigarettes sometimes, or big old cigars. And I was just like, what a change in how these riders can actually enjoy riding.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a whole different vibe.
Yeah, and, you know, you see them, you know, with their cigar hanging in their teeth, and they're just, you know, smiling with their beard blown back and living their best lives, you know, and so that imagery really, because all the different facial expressions that, you know, we never see under those full face helmets, and that really stood out to me for sure. Plus, you know, the storms, and that was really amazing too, and how hardcore they are. Like, I have so much respect for these riders for, you know, knowing what they're going out there, everything that they gotta deal with, you know, and they still just make the most of it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So now, like we kind of talked about in the intro, like there's the Black Hills, and then you talked about a different area that's
Deadwood.
Deadwood.
Yes.
Okay, so what's Deadwood about?
Deadwood, South Dakota. For me, it reminded me of like the Shire in Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
Like the buildings, the scenes, like all the greenery. It was just really, and the hospitality. It's less crowded out there, so you know the waitresses aren't as stressed out as, you know, the other ones down on Main Street. And
Gotcha.
There's just a lot more hospitality, and it was just such a good space to experience getting away from, you know, where all the hype is and all the noise and all those things are, just to go have dinner out there with friends and kind of see what that's all about too. And yeah, there's still bikes all over the place, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's just a different spot and space for people to kind of catch a breather.
All right. How far is it from like where you were at?
It was about like a 35-minute drive, so on a bike, you know, you can always
not too bad.
take off.
15.
Yeah, exactly. Take off a few minutes of that. But yeah, and that ride would be amazing too, because it's all through the canyons and the mountains and greenery out there. Just, you know, and I've traveled a lot, but like South Dakota and Black Hills area, it was just really different and special. I really wanted to see Rushmore, but we didn't have time for it. That's why I'm like, I'm going to have to figure out this 10 days next year.
Okay, so next year we're going to go together, and we're going to make a pit stop to Mount Rushmore, because I want to see that too.
And there's all these amazing waterfalls that everybody was telling me about as well. And, you know, just to be able to, like, get away from all the loud noise and go see what South Dakota has, you know, outside of
Sturgis
motorcycle rally.
Right.
Yeah. So I would really love to like spend some time, you know, in nature out there, because I heard so many great things, and from what I saw nature wise, I'm like, oh, I can only imagine.
Really pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like more mountainous, or are we talking flatland?
Well, there's kind of both. Like there's all kinds of like long meadows that are very green with just all these different colored flowers throughout it, but there's also very mountainous and canyons and, you know, waterfalls and great hiking from what I've heard. A lot of camping. A lot of people like to camp when they go to Sturgis.
Nice.
Which is hardcore with all those storms too.
Right.
But yeah.
So what I'm hearing is we're gonna go hiking as well.
We have to. Yeah, we have to at least like check out some of these waterfalls and stuff.
For sure. Make sure to bring the real shoes.
Yes.
Flip flops.
We like to hike and flip flops.
We do like do that and flip flops.
Yeah.
But hey, we survived.
Been there, done that.
Yeah. Like, we'll do it again.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, we'll make. You know, we're resourceful.
Yeah.
We'll make it
proper
work.
footwear. Like, shoot, we'll do it barefooted, whatever it takes.
I have it on film now, though, that you are going to do Sturgis with me.
Yes.
Okay.
You do. Yes. The whole world is hearing it right now.
You promise that.
Got it.
Like.
Yeah,
awesome.
I'm down. Like, we'll get the guys to go.
Yeah.
Maybe,
But I don't think I'd be able to ride without my helmet.
Yeah, I gotta put the helmet on.
Yeah.
I mean, just because, like,
that's
you know,
yes.
Growing up, again, like, in the off-road, I didn't, and I never even thought about it, but now I'm becoming, like, an adult, mom.
Yeah.
You start thinking about these things, and so now the helmet, the jacket, it all goes on. Doesn't matter how hot it is outside.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, you picked rocks out of my arm.
I did.
I got too hot.
Yeah, I gained a lot of 35 minutes of me scrubbing your arm.
It felt like an eternity.
It
but
did. I mean, it might have been.
Was it only 35 minutes?
I mean, it probably was longer. It was
like, damn, that felt like an eternity.
Yeah, you had balls of skin coming off of you. So, but look, no scars. Like we healed up beautiful. You're welcome. I will come scrub out of you, but don't do it again.
No.
But I will be there
it's never
to get you and scrub it out.
That's why, Gary, no matter what, because that was triple-digit heat, in Arizona.
Yep.
And
one time.
It's literally the one time. And I didn't even make it 10 minutes out onto the road before I was sliding without my jacket,
You've
so.
always preached to me since I started riding, because, I mean, I'd ridden a couple of times before I met you, but, like, I was little. It didn't count. And so, when I started really getting back into riding, you were kind of my guide and was like, no, this is, like, what you need to do. Don't get on the bike with that guy again. Yeah. Especially without proper gear. Yeah, and do it right, because this is what's going to happen. And always wear your gear. And I was like, but it's 120. Yeah. And he used to always say, I don't care.
That road rash is hotter than that. Than that hot air blowing in your face.
For
And I really shot myself in a fit that day. And, I knew better. So I'm still kicking myself a little bit, but thanks to you, I don't have major scarring.
We learn, right?
Yeah, and I have my story to tell. Yeah. Like, I still prefer no matter what, and still suggest no matter what, no matter how hot it is or how cute you want to look, like, always wear that gear. And we have so many options nowadays.
Yeah.
Of,
gear's gotten way cuter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Way more form-fitting for the ladies, you don't feel like a big old bulky box like back in the day.
Yeah. My first pair of riding pants, I still put them on to this day, and I'm like, no.
You're like, how?
I'm like, why do I feel like I'm going snowboarding? Like, I'm like the little marshmallow man.
Right?
I'm like, no, this isn't. Yeah. This isn't where I want to be.
And now there's so many cool options.
Yeah. I mean,
so we have no reason not to.
They have leggings with Kevlar now in them. So protect your skin.
Yeah.
Put it on. Yeah. Put the helmet on. Yeah. Put the jacket on. Yeah. And go have some fun.
And take cute pictures off, and
yeah.
take it all off.
Flip that visor up. Yeah. That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can do that. Even with the visor up, my eyes get dry. I'm like, okay, gotta push that down now.
Yeah.
Like,
and I wear contacts, so like all that, like I kind of have to be in my own little. It's a safety blanket for me,
Mike, he was riding the bike RFRI one night, and speaking of contacts, he had the visor up because he only had a shaded visor, so like no good for night. Yeah. So he flipped it up, and his contact fell out. So he was riding with one eye down the freeway. And all we noticed
I'm afraid of that.
Yeah,
I'm afraid of that
happening. Is that, he fell back, and we're like, why is he going so slow? And then when we got to our stop, we found out, he's literally riding with one eye.
He's a pirate.
He was.
He was a pirate.
We were like 30 miles from the house, so he was just like, I can make it back. And we were like, okay.
That's a good story.
Yeah, so, but yeah.
Pirate Mike, I'm going to call him that.
Right?
Good.
Yeah.
What's up, Pirate
Mike? Yeah. He can fit along with that guy at Sturgis that you sent the video of that was, well, I was like, wait, is he actually naked? No, okay, he's got a sling.
He did that on purpose. Because from afar, we were all like, we couldn't help but to
You posted that video, and I was like, why is she posting that?
No, and then I got my phone out just to be nosy.
Were you zooming in?
We're like, is that pubes? What is this? And then he comes our direction. We're like, okay, let's just see what this guy's all about.
He's like in a straight banana hammock.
When we walk that way, we're going to see full ass.
The moon was out for you.
The moon was out that day.
So I guess that's a...
full moon.
Yeah. And I guess that's kind of what you expect, though, for sure.
Yeah.
Going back to.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was good times. My voice is still a little raspy, but man, it was epic.
I love that.
I'm so excited to finally get that one experienced, because I always wondered. I always wanted to go, and all the things you hear, all the stories.
It's all true.
It's all true.
And probably plus some, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's just one epic ride,
So be prepared to see some things, to experience some things.
Yep.
And probably learn.
Yeah, and lose your voice.
It's
Sturgis voice. You
Love
know?
that. Love that. Yeah, I know. You did text me. You're like, I can't talk.
Oh, there was a whole day, and it was my last day of working too, and I was just trying so hard, and nothing was coming out. So I just kind of turned into the mute rep, you know, where I was just like, oh, no.
Like, here you go. Well,
Yeah.
I guess not even here you go.
No,
Just
nope, I'm smile, and then honestly, my team was amazing about backing me up. Like, if anybody
good.
had questions or anything, I would just kind of, you know, point to them, but yeah, there was nothing there, man. And I did all the home remedies you could think of. I was desperate for it to come back, and I was just like, nope.
Honey,
Nope.
salt,
Yep.
all of it. Yeah, nothing's happening.
Nothing helped.
You just had to let it rest.
Had to let it pass. Yeah, it took 3 days, and it's still a little raspy, but
Fuck it. You had a great time.
Great story with it.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. No, I love that. Absolutely love that. Love that you had a great time. I am honestly so happy for you that you finally got to experience this. Like, I know you've been wanting to do this for, like, literally as long as I've known you.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm really happy that you finally got to experience it.
Thank you.
You're my guinea pig, so, you know, we always have to say
Yes.
it first anyway.
Yes.
So, yay, now you've done it. It's safe. Like,
It's
we're
safe.
gonna go next
And you're
time.
coming. It's already,
Yeah.
you already shook on it. It's a done deal.
We got this. So it's locked in.
Yeah.
And yeah, it'll be a blast. So I'm looking forward to next year.
Likewise.
And, yeah, it'll be good.
Sturgis 2026.
Holy
Karen's
crap.
going.
I'll be
Star-
there.
Star
And then
going.
we will be here to tell you all about it on that episode many years, or a year from now. Not many years, just a year from now.
She's trying to sneak out.
Yeah, right?
Many
you didn't
years
say
from now.
what year I had to go.
I said 2026.
Yeah, you did.
That.
Yeah, you did. All right.
She's
All right. You
She's
got
trying
me.
to slip through the cracks. Thank you guys for watching. As always, let us know if there's anything specific that you would like us to cover. We would love to hear from you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Like, subscribe, you know, all that fun stuff.
Hit
we
those
love you.
buttons. Mwah.